welcome back to the Death Rattle YouTube channel, and today we will be looking at my predictions for the World Test Championship 2025 to 2027, right? So let's just get on with it, right? Um, where are we? Yeah, here we are. Okay, England versus India. I think India's winning in Old Trafford. I think that's fair. And they might draw the Oval. I'm not sure about that. I feel like this could be a toss-up. I'm going to go for a draw. I think 2-2. Nah, that's not fair. 3-2 is fair for England. Anyway, let's go to the next one. That would be India versus the West Indies. No, that's not hard. 2-0 India, that's fair. Pakistan versus South Africa, happening in Pakistan again. Honestly, if Pakistan win most of their home matches, I looked at this before. I did like a quick warm up before going into this. If Pakistan plays like most of their matches at home, they've been insanely good at home in the past. Like year or so, if they do all of their matches at home, and they end up winning all of them, they could qualify for the final. If they win all their matches at home, they qualify for the final. Okay, that's crazy. Because they only have one away series, and that's against England, which they could go 3-0 for, win every single match at home, and they could qualify for the final, right? I feel like they're playing 13 matches throughout the entire cycle. It's not fair, right? But anyway, I think this is going to be 1-0. See, like, as you can see, Pakistan jumped to the top already. It's crazy. Like, the 2 games... 66 2 games, they won one and drew the other. If South Africa wins, which I don't think they are, because you need an actual, at this point, like, it's not flatties anymore. Okay, Pakistan is done with flatties. They need a spinner. They need an actual spinner to come in and absolutely destroy the lineup. That's what Pakistan are doing. They're doing it with Sajid and Noman. Like, they've taken, like, in the last 1 year, Noman and Sajid Khan, Noman Ali and Sajid Khan, they've taken all of the wickets for Pakistan except for maybe a couple by pacers, which were away games, by the way. Those were away games, not even games at home. I think it's going to be a draw. I think Pakistan is winning one game. I don't think South Africa's winning a game in Pakistan just because they don't have good enough spin attack. India versus South Africa. I think 2-0 is fair. I think 1-0 is also fair. I think 1-1 is also fair. I don't think it's going to be 2-0 South Africa. So I know India's winning at least one game. Draw, maybe. I don't think that's happening. It is in India. I think India 2-0 is more than fair. New Zealand versus West Indies. I feel like I am underestimating South Africa a bit. They could definitely win a match in India, especially like with their renewed confidence after the World Test Championship final. But that's not happening. It's far too good. It's far too good. India has far too good of a team. South Africa does have some newer, younger players coming in, and Markram is probably going to be overjoyed with confidence after the final, right? And so is Bavuma. Oh, anyway, shout out to these guys. Over here. They're pretty cool. They created this, so I'm gonna link the website for this in the description. And we'll just continue with this. Anyway, yeah. Okay. So I just don't think South Africa is good enough to win in India. They could. I feel like it's definitely possible that the series could be a draw. But I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go India 2-0. Yeah. They're like, I don't think the Markram Bavuma, Tristan Stubbs, they're not good enough players to spin, and those are basically the main batters in their lineup, right? They're not good enough players to spin for me to give South Africa the win there. New Zealand versus the West Indies. That is a hard one, right? That's two. No, that's not a hard one. Okay, I know it's gonna be 3-0 for New Zealand, but I really like the West Indies' pace attack. Even if the West Indies do lose every single match, I think that their pace attack is really good. But the same thing with the West Indies and Sri Lanka last year. Both of them get like a lead. They grab the lead. They hold on to it for like 3 overs, then they let it go. It's crazy how many times that happened in England to them to them in 2024. It's crazy. It's like at some point you got to think of it. It's not really a coincidence. These lower teams just they have the hope, they have the spirit, but they're just absolutely destroyed by freaking the spirits are absolutely crushed by freaking Jamie Smith. Okay, but we love Jamie Smith, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I feel like that's fair. 3-0 for New Zealand is it's fair for New Zealand. There could be a draw in there, but I feel like those New Zealand pitchers are just too terrible for them to not be for there to be a draw. The Ashes, that's a hard one. Okay, I feel like I want to give Australia. Australia is definitely going to win this Ashes. Okay, like there's no sugarcoating that. England is not good enough to compete with them, because the bowlers just don't hit the deck hard enough to compete with them in England. That's my only point. 3-1 is fair. 4-2 is fair. 4-1 is fair. 5-0 is not fair to England. I'm going to be real, even though I hate England. So Australia's going to win the match in Perth. I think that's more than fair. Brisbane, I feel like Australia's going to win that. Adelaide, Australia's going to win that. I feel like the 3 matches, Australia's going to win that. England could definitely win in Melbourne, and the draw in Sydney. I feel like that's pretty fair. That's what I did in my warm up to, like. But England have been fined 2 for slow over rate already, so it will come down to slow over rate for England at some point. Like, I don't know. I feel like 16. I'm going down. I feel like 16 points of penalty is fair considering how slow Stokes is going. Like, I feel like England was like the only team other than India to have penalty points in the last cycle. I'm gonna go with 0. I'm not gonna mess with that because I don't like it. Yeah, I think this is more than fair. Yeah. I do have New Zealand and Australia in the finals already, so that's not a great sign for India. Bangladesh versus Pakistan. It's happening in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is basically another home to Pakistan. Like, because Pakistan is really good to Bangladesh, okay? So I think I'm going to go 2-0 Pakistan. I don't know if that's like completely fair to Bangladesh because they have a pretty good pace attack, okay? They have a great pace attack. But they also don't have the batting that is required to face off against these crazy spinners that Pakistan just came out of nowhere with, okay? They came out of nowhere with these spinners. Where did Sajid and Noman even come from? I know they came from Pakistan, but like, where? Dude, like, how did you even get those people? But anyway, I think 2-0 for Pakistan is completely fair. There could be a draw in there. It's not likely, but there could be. And as you can see, Pakistan is already higher than India on this. There could be a draw in there, but I don't think it's happening. I'm going to go Pakistan 2-0. England versus New Zealand. This is a hard one. No, it's not. I think England do have the chance to go 3-0 here and actually get to a good spot. I feel like they do have the chance. They definitely do have the chance to go 3-0 here. Because New Zealand doesn't have a good team right now. You think of who's coming in for New Zealand. You have Tom Latham, you have Kane Williamson, you have Rachin Ravindra, you have Devin Conway, you have Glenn Phillips, you have... That's it. That's all you have. You have maybe Ajaz Patel, who's not going to play in England. Then you have someone like Matt Henry and Will O'Rourke, who's going to play, but like they're going to... Those are your only 2 pacers. Think of a third pacer. You need at least 4 pacers in England. Who are you going to have as your third and fourth pacer? We don't have any of those. You have 2 spinners. You have 2 spin part-timers in Glenn Phillips and Rachin Ravindra, but you don't have anyone else. England, unfortunately, they have a way better team than New Zealand. Like, you think of the India series, you see that New Zealand's squad was terrible. How did they even win this? I think they were carried by Rachin Ravindra, weren't they? Like, if I went back to that test series after like a year, right? It hasn't been a year. It hasn't even been a year, has it? After like 6 months, right? I come back there. I look at their team. How did they even do this? How did they go 3-0 in India? I don't know. I feel like India being absolutely terrible has something to do with it. But other than that, I think New Zealand is going 3-0 in England. New Zealand is like one of those teams who, like, if it's their day, they're bowling you out for less than 50. But I doubt that Matt Henry would have at least one day. But I'm going to go 2-1. Actually, yeah, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go 2-1 for New Zealand. West Indies versus Sri Lanka. This is a hard one. I think Sri Lanka has a good team, right? You think that Sri Lanka's pace attack is fine, so is West Indies. Their pace attack is amazing. You can go with both of those teams' pace attacks. They're not equal, but Sri Lanka has a slightly more all-rounded team. They have better spinners. They have better batters. West Indies have terrible batters. I guess they're spinners. If you bring in Akil Hussain, you're fine. But let's consider this. The pace attacks are not equal. West Indies has a slightly better pace attack. Sri Lanka has a way better batting lineup. I don't want to give I don't think 2-0 Sri Lanka is fair. I think 1-1 West Indies, or 1-1 Sri Lanka West Indies. Pakistan's still at the top of the table, as you can see. It's surprising because you think of Pakistan, you think they're a terrible test team right now, but they're playing. If you're playing 8 of your games, 8 out of your 13 games at home. Actually, if you're playing, it's basically 10 out of your 13 games because Bangladesh is very familiar conditions, very familiar places. Pakistan, I feel like they could definitely go 1-1 in Bangladesh as well. This is very fair, but they do want to take revenge for what happened last year. Bangladesh went 2-0, and if you think of Bangladesh, you think of who's going to come in for them. Mushfiqur Rahim's retiring soon, definitely, because how much longer do you think he could play? He's what, 38 already, right? He's your permanent wicketkeeper, and he's also your best batter. Think of how many times that has happened in cricket. When has Adam Gilchrist been Australia's best batter? When has MS Dhoni? I guess that happened a couple of times, but when has for a consistent period of time, when has Adam Gilchrist or MS Dhoni been their country's top batters for 6 years in a row? Okay, think about it. When has Mark Boucher been South Africa's best batter, right? When has Quinton de Kock been South Africa's best batter? You think about it. It's not happening. It just doesn't happen. But Mushfiqur Rahim has done something insane with Bangladesh cricket, okay? But after that, you don't see anyone else who's coming instead of him. You see maybe someone like Jaker Ali. Yes, that's who he is. That's who I was thinking of. You look at these pacers as well. These are pretty good pacers. You think about it, and then suddenly you go here, and then you realize Bangladesh has a solid team before Mushfiqur Rahim retires. And then Mushfiqur Rahim retires, you have someone like Jaker Ali, and that's your batting, and you have Mehdi Hassan Miraz. That's your entire batting, right? You don't have anyone like Liton Das to absolutely carry you throughout, because he's not in great form. Liton Das is not in great form. You don't really have anyone on your team to do insanely good. And then you look at Pakistan, they have someone like Babar Azam, they have someone like Saim Ayub, they have Mohammad Rizwan, they have really good players. Well, not really good, but they have average enough players who can beat Bangladesh, right? I think 2-0 is definitely fair. Anyway, West Indies versus Sri Lanka. I think this is fair as well. Sri Lanka versus India. Now, this one is a really hard one. Sri Lanka at home has been unstoppable. That's how they almost snuck into the final last year, by destroying New Zealand at home. That's how they snuck in. You think India could definitely go 2-0 here? I feel like any possibility is possible here. You could even get 0-0. I don't think that's happening though. But there's not going to be much draws in Sri Lanka, and you'll see that here. They only had one draw, and I think that was away, wasn't it? I think I put only one draw for them away. Yeah, no, it was it was in Gaul. That was before. It was in Gaul, but you see, look at these scores. This is only something that a really good team of spin can, players of spin can do, right? This is happening in Sri Lanka. Maybe they are creating more flatter pitches, but it's still going to be somewhat spin dominated. I think Sri Lanka and India 1-1 is fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. You could definitely have a draw, but I don't think that's happening, especially with the Sri Lankan batting lineup. They're going to be absolutely washed by, if you're bringing in Jadeja, then you have someone like Aksar, then you have someone like, you have Jadeja, Aksar, you have Kuldeep, you have Washington Sundar, you have options for India. You have a lot of pacers. You can even bring Jalaj Saxena as a surprise attack for Sri Lanka. You never know. They have a lot of spinning options, and Sri Lanka has Prabhat Surya, who is crazy, and then they also have Kabandu Mendes, who is a great player of spin and a great player of pace as well. I'm not going to be surprised if he does really well against Siraj. But again, if you look at the squad, I'm gonna say 1-1 is completely fair. West Indies versus Pakistan. This is a good one. This one's happening in the West Indies. Maybe I miscounted. Maybe all of their matches are not at home. But they're against worse teams, right? West Indies is not like... West Indies is 7th. Wow, how did they get to 7th? Do they put 0 wins for South Africa? Oh no, they have 1 draw, 3 loss. They lost to... They got whitewashed by India and India, right? And they lost 1-0 to Pakistan. Ooh, that's interesting. That is interesting. See, if you look at South Africa right now, they definitely do seem like a team who could definitely prevent a whitewash against India. I'm gonna go. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go South Africa 1-1. I'm changing my mind here. I'm gonna go India versus South Africa 1-1. Seeing them in last place really shocked me. I'm gonna be for real. Okay, now Bangladesh is in last place, which is completely fair. West Indies versus Pakistan. Now this is a hard one. I feel like West Indies can't hold their own against someone like Sajid and Noman. So Pakistan could definitely win at least one match here, but I'm thinking about like what they're doing in the West Indies cricket headquarters. Like, what have Brian Lara, Clive Lloyd, and Viv Richards been called in for? What are they gonna do? Like, I keep thinking about that every single time I see West Indies on the screen. I'm like, what are they gonna do with this? They're gonna absolutely they're gonna do something crazy with this, and something's gonna happen, and this is gonna be all wrong. That's what I'm thinking of, right? West Indies, I feel like they could at least win. No, I don't think they're winning any games. I think Pakistan, don't think that's fair. I think Pakistan 1-0 is fair. Maybe a draw. Don't think that's happening in the West Indies, considering how bad their pitches were this year. West Indies winning against Pakistan could happen. I think Pakistan 2-0 is completely fair here for Pakistan. And that means they would lose 0 games at this point. I feel like West Indies can win 1 though. I'm going to be real. I think West Indies can win 1. And here we have Australia and Pakistan in the finals. That's who we have. Okay? That's crazy. I think West Indies can win 1 there though. I think maybe their batting won't be good enough, but their pace bowling will definitely cause trouble for every single batter in the lineup, except maybe Amir Jamal. But for every single batter, their pace is definitely causing a problem. Okay, England versus Pakistan. That's not a hard one. I think England can go 3-0 here pretty easily. They don't have Pakistan do not have any placers who are good enough to go against England because. But first of all, Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley will cause some definite problems for them. Naseem Shah is a very length-driven bowler, and even though his average is terrible, but he gets really unlucky. Even though that's terrible for them, I don't think he's doing that much. Shaheen Afridi will definitely have a good time in England, but again, most of Pakistan's wins in these last years have been spin dominated wins, right? Sajid Khan and Noman Ali, it's been mainly them, and Abrar Ahmed as well. He's been really good. I mean, he hasn't been good. He averages 50 in Test cricket, but even then, he's been the only one who's actually provided breakthroughs for them. See, think about it. You think. England are really still going to win this, right? They're going to destroy Pakistan with the bat. Then Pakistan can't do much in response, right? Because if you think of all the batters who are playing for Pakistan right now, the only aggressive one who's scoring runs who's scoring runs quick enough, because you have 5 days at this point, right? You have 5 days. You don't want any draws, right? You don't want draws, but if draw is better than a win. But if you're thinking about the time period, July 2026, you're getting closer. You're inching closer and closer. You don't want as many draws as you did back in back when you were in 2025. You would want less draws at this point in time. They don't have the good enough mindset to actually go out and take those risks. If you think about what Jadeja did in the Lord's Test, they didn't take as many risks, and I feel like Ben Stokes is really good at setting those fields. Don't take risks, guys. The batters can't take risks. If you're in trouble, just take singles and get it over with, because Ben Stokes is an insane captain, right? What he did against Jadeja was absolutely amazing. Right? No one could do that. I feel like Jadeja would have easily finished that off if Stokes didn't do that. My point is here. Pakistan don't have the batting to pull at least 1 win in England. I feel like this is definitely fair. And with that, Pakistan go all the way down to 6th place. And I feel like it's getting really interesting here. Now you have South Africa versus Australia. Last time I remember these guys playing in South Africa is in 2018. I don't remember. Don't tell me it happened after that, because I don't remember it. South Africa versus Australia. That's a hard one. I want to give this. I think 2-1 Australia is definitely fair. I think there could be at least one draw, but I don't think Australia's batting lineup is good enough for them to create a draw. But I think their bowling lineup is good enough to at least get a win for them. So 2-1 is completely fair. It could be 3-0. Could definitely be 3-0. It could be 2-0 as well. But I don't think they're drawing it in. I think both of their bowling lineups are too good for them to actually draw a test. Like, you have Kagiso Rabada, who could be on drugs. Like, the dude is literally on drugs. Like, yeah, literally on drugs. He's literally on drugs, okay? You have Kagiso Rabada, you have Marco Jansen. They're not getting past that already. I don't think... Who are their openers? Konstas and Khawaja, right? Khawaja's retiring soon. Like, he's 38, right? Khawaja's definitely retiring soon. You have Konstas, and then you think of someone, maybe Cooper Connolly's coming in. You never know. If you're trying Cam Green at 3, he's not a number 3 batter. He's a number 4 batter. But I think this might be Steve Smith's farewell series as well. Steve Smith's not going to retire before the South Africa series, is he? Like, let's think about it. He's not going to retire before the South Africa series. He's a perfect number 4 for this. Cam Green at 3 also scored a 50 in the last game, right? Did he? I'm pretty sure he did. But, so, I think Australia winning 1 is definitely plausible. I think South Africa winning 3 is definitely possible. But I don't think it's happening. I think 2-0 is completely fair. 2-1 is completely fair, not 2-0. Let's talk about South Africa versus Bangladesh. No, it's not. That's 2-0 South Africa. Easy. Now South Africa's in the final with Australia. Wow. What a jump they made. Let's remove this for a second. Let's put a draw here. They were at 6th place, win 1 match, they get up to 2nd place. That's crazy. Now Pakistan, after losing to England, are all the way down in 7th. India's all the way down in 6th. New Zealand is higher than India. That's crazy. Like, if you look at this is not what usually is going on, right? You'd usually see India way higher than New Zealand. But anyway, let's keep going. Bangladesh versus West Indies. Now this one, this is a hard one. I feel like Bangladesh definitely has a good pace attack, like I said. West Indies has a good pace attack as well. Spin attack for both teams, kind of lackluster. Mehdi Hassan Miraz will definitely be the point of difference in this. It's happening in Bangladesh. I think Bangladesh 1-0 is fair. Obviously it's a draw in Bangladesh, which is not what usually happens, but I don't think West Indies can win. So, but I don't want to give it 2-0 to Bangladesh. But I think 2-0 to Bangladesh is fair. 1-0 to Bangladesh is fair. 1-1 is not fair, in my opinion. I think 1-0 is fair. And that's Bangladesh's first win. Okay? 5 losses. West Indies have lost 10. Okay, never mind. Let's see. This series won't really matter. Okay, like they're the last 2 teams. Unless Pakistan is below any of these teams, the series isn't going to matter. New Zealand versus India in New Zealand. Now this will be another interesting one, right? Oh god. Like, this one was the hardest one for me. When I was, like, warming up to do this recording, this one was the hardest one for me. I swear, this was, like, this annoyed me so much, okay? Like, on one hand, India has a really good pace attack. Like, you look at it. You have someone like Prasidh Krishna, who's supposed to be a natural-born pacer, but he's not doing good. But anyway, I digress. Siraj, he's amazing. Akashdeep, amazing. He would definitely use these pitches well. Shami hasn't retired yet. Bumrah's there. Other pacers. You have someone like you could bring someone like Digvesh Shrati, who has been like a really good spinner in the IPL, but he can bowl. He could probably do really good in New Zealand. And then you think of someone like the spinners that they have as well. You have Washington Sundar, who is really, really good into this New Zealand team. Like, New Zealand, Bumrah isn't good into the New Zealand batters because of their low stance. Washington Sundar is good into the New Zealand batters because of their low stance, okay? Let's think about it. This is an insane... But, for New Zealand, it's New Zealand at home, again. You have someone like Kane Williamson, who has always been great in India. He's traditionally great in India, but he might even be retired by this point. You never know. And then after that, you have someone like Rachan Ravindra, who's always good against India spin. And you have someone like Devin Conway who knows how to play pace really well. You have someone like Glenn Phillips who's really good, like just really good at general. You have someone like Tom Latham who can't bat but he can keep really well. So this is a hard one for me. This is New Zealand at home, and India doesn't traditionally have a good record in New Zealand. I feel like this is fair. This is definitely fair, but it definitely could go like this because India has Shuman Gill, Yashasvi Jaiswal. Their top 7 isn't even close to being decided. Jadeja could be retired by this point, so that's a huge hole in the 11. You have someone like Safraz Khan, who's really good against pace. You have someone like Jaiswal. I feel like 1-1 is fair. I think India could definitely just win a match because there's like sheer batting, and then New Zealand could win a match because they have the better matchup and better team, and they're playing at home. So it's like very complicated. This is a hard one, but I think 1-1 is fair. So is 2-0. 2-0 is completely fair. Even 1-0 is completely fair. But I think I'm gonna go this, and this means that India is in 6th place still. Wow. Okay. If India win one game, so this is another point of difference. This is a very important series, right? If India win this game, they get to the finals. If New Zealand win this, if New Zealand win this game, they can keep India away, right? If they draw, then India. If they draw, then India goes up to 4th place, and New Zealand goes down to 7th. It's very weird. This match, this series will definitely be like a point of conflict for this team. Yeah, that's it. I think I'm going to go 1-1 though. That's fair. Pakistan versus Sri Lanka, happening in Pakistan. I think Sri Lanka 2-0, Pakistan 2-0. 1-1 is completely fair. 0-0 is also completely fair. I think I'm going to go 1-1. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like 1-1 is completely fair. 2-0 is completely fair as well. It's very similar conditions, so I'm going to go 1-1. Yeah, I mean, 0-0 won't make a difference either, does it? No, it brings India up to 5th place. That's what 0-0 does. Wow, okay, that's another point of difference. 0-0 brings India up to 5th place, New Zealand up to 4th, England up to 3rd, and Sri Lanka down to 6th. And Sri Lanka winning 1-0 brings Sri Lanka up to 3rd, and Pakistan 1-0 brings no difference. But 1-1 is no difference. Pakistan 2-0 brings Pakistan up to 3rd. Pakistan 1-0 brings Sri Lanka down to 7th. It's an interesting one. I think I'll go 1-1. South Africa versus England. Now this one is very, very difficult as well. This is another very important series. I mean, let's think about it. You have South Africa, the champions, and then you have I think 3-0 is completely fair. 1-0 is completely fair. 2-0 is completely fair. 1-2-1. I feel like South Africa winning the series is gonna be like South Africa is gonna win the series, but it depends on who's gonna win a match. Like it's like South Africa can easily win 2-0. I feel like this is fair. This is fair as well. This is fair. This is not fair. I think South Africa is just too good for England. I don't think 3-0 will be possible. I think 2-0 will be possible. So Australia versus South Africa again. Australia versus New Zealand. This will be another one. New Zealand is not traditionally good in Australia, but again, you could be breaking stuff, But I just don't see New Zealand winning anything in Australia. I don't see them winning a single game. I think 4-0 is completely fair. I'm going to go 4-1 though because I think one draw is fair. New Zealand is just like traditionally they're just not good in Australia. But anyway, the 3-0 versus Australia is completely fair. Yeah, that's fair. New Zealand versus Sri Lanka. Another one which will be the point of difference. Like these last series will be completely like the point of difference for this entire thing, okay? New Zealand versus Sri Lanka. That's a hard one. It's happening. I think New Zealand 2-0 is fair. That means New Zealand makes it to the final. No, they don't. Never mind. I think there's no draws. I think Sri Lanka's batting line could withstand New Zealand's onslaught of bowling because their onslaught of bowling is just not good right now. New Zealand also lost versus England at home the last time they played. So 1-0 is completely fair. Sri Lanka could definitely go 1-1 here. I don't think that's happening though. I don't think Sri Lanka's like pace attack is good enough to beat like New Zealand's batters at home, especially someone like Kane Williamson, who might not be retired, who may be retired. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be retired by this point. If they don't make it to the final, he's going to be retired by 2027. Yeah, 1-0 is fair. New Zealand's definitely winning this. I think it could be 2-0. Like you're getting closer. I think New Zealand could go 2-0. But I don't think it's fair for Sri Lanka to go 1-0. Yeah, now Sri Lanka is 6th. New Zealand is 7th. Pakistan is 5th, which is good, which means like if they win their next couple of matches, I think they could qualify. England is 4th. Definitely could qualify. India is 3rd. South Africa 2nd. Australia 1st. India versus Australia and India. Now this one is going to be an interesting one, right? You think about it. Australia, the last time Australia played in India, India won like 3-1, I believe. Or, what? No, India won like 2-1, I believe. I think that was it, yeah. India won 2-1. I think there's a draw coming in, at least one draw coming in. So I'm going to put that down. Like, there's going to be at least one draw. I'm going to be for real. Then, maybe because of rain, maybe because of, maybe because they're batting too good. You never know. There's going to be at least one draw, though. We know. India, I think India's going to win the test series. Like, that's pretty obvious. India 3. I think 3 is fair. Yeah, 3 seems fair. That's just because India's too good. It's India at home. At this point, they should have like a proper top 7. They've been molding someone like Akshar Patel to come in for Jadeja at some point when Jadeja retires. Jadeja's probably going to be retired by this series. He's going to be 37 at this series starting. 37 or 38. He's going to be 37 or 38 by the time this series starts, right? At that point, you think about it, it's probably going to be India's going to have a set top 7. They're going to have a set bowling lineup as well. They're going to have Bumrah, they're going to have Siraj, they're going to have, I think Siraj is like a little too young, but a little too old, but they're going to have him. I think they're going to have him. They're going to have Prasidh Krishna, they're going to have Akash Deep, they're going to have a really good pace attack, right? And you think about it as well, they're going to have a really good batting lineup at this point. Shubman Gill's going to be comfortable in his place. Yashasvi Jaiswal's going to be comfortable in his place. Sarfaraz Khan might even be in the squad, you never know. Rishabh Pant is going to be comfortable in his place. Dhruv Jurel might even be in there. You don't know. I feel like India definitely has the upper hand. Australia's batting is not good enough. Australia could sneak in a win here. I don't think it's happening. I think India 4-0 is definitely fair. Australia could definitely sneak in a win though. I don't see much for Australia. Their spin isn't good enough. They have someone like Kuhneman. They have this other dude with glasses. What's his name? What's the dude with glasses name? I can't think about it right now. I can't think of his name. But if Australia sneak in a win, they qualify. So this match will definitely be like a point of concern. If India sneaks in a win or sneaks in a draw, they should be fine. And there could be rain as well, so draws are definitely possible. I'm gonna go with 3-0. That seems doesn't seem fair. Australia 3-1. India 3-1. That's fair. Bangladesh versus England. I feel like Bangladesh is definitely winning 1 here, and no draws. 1. Yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair. If England win both, it doesn't change anything other than England going all the way down. But I don't think it's going to be 2-0. I think 1-1 is fair. England, at this point in time, I hope England's bowling lineup, because they're not having a good bowling lineup right now, but at this point in time, it should be at least somewhat better, because Liam Dawson's in the squad now, so it shows that they're looking at domestic, right? They have Shoaib Bashir, he could do good. Rehan Ahmed, he could be doing good. Tom Hartley is there. I think England are set for at least one match to win. Australia's going 2-0 against Bangladesh. That's not a hard one. Sri Lanka versus South Africa. That's a hard one. I think I'm giving Sri Lanka at least one game. If South Africa... I don't think South Africa could sneak in a win here. That's not happening. They could sneak in a draw. That's possible. But they're not sneaking in a win. Yeah, because their spin attack is just not good enough. Tristan Stubbs... I think he'll be comfortable. What I said about India. They might, South Africa's in a transition phase right now. They sent youngsters to Bangladesh. They sent youngsters to Zimbabwe, right? It could be 1-0. It could be 2-0. I don't think they could sneak in a win in Sri Lanka. It's possible they could, but their batting just isn't good enough to sneak in a win in Sri Lanka. Pakistan versus New Zealand. Now that's an interesting one, right? You think about it, it's probably going to be at least Pakistan winning 2-0, right? And if they win 2-0, that's done. They're done. They finish it on fourth place, which is a good. I don't see anything wrong with fourth place. Like, you're in the top 50%, 56.41%. This is a really close one as well. All 7 of these teams had came really close to qualifying for the final. I feel like, see, top 7 is like really competitive in a World Test Championship. Like, especially after what Pakistan have done in Pakistan and what South Africa have done in the World Test Championship. This is really, really competitive. Other than places 8 and 9, that's reserved for those two, because I mean, I don't even know. Like, West Indies could literally win every single match from here. If they do, they qualify for the final, by the way. So West Indies could literally win every single match from here, and I think that's the last series, right? 2-0 Pakistan is completely fair. Even if it's 1-0, it doesn't matter because it doesn't change anything. No one's making it to the final. Yeah. So Australia versus India. That's what it's coming down to again. Like, let's think of how many finals have been Australia versus India lately. World Test Championship. Okay, how many finals have had, like, how many ICC finals have had either Australia or India in the past, 3 years? Okay, let's think about it. 2022 was the last one, England and Pakistan, right? And then 2023 was Australia versus India. Then 2024 was India versus South Africa. And then 2025 was India versus New Zealand. And 2025 was also South Africa versus Australia. So all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the past 5 finals have all been India or Australia. That's crazy. One last final face-off. Okay. Let's change some things. Let's say India win this. It's still going to be India and Australia. Let's say Australia win this. It's going to be, if Australia is able to sneak in if Australia is able to sneak in 2 wins. Yeah, if Australia is able to sneak in 2 wins, then South Africa qualifies. But that's not happening. There's going to be at least 1 draw. I guarantee you. This is monsoons. Is it? No, it's not monsoon season, but it's going to be a flat pitch. Let's say Sri Lanka win this 2-0. Yeah, that's not happening, but let's say Sri Lanka could go 1-0. What if they go 1-0? What if they do? And then they qualify. If Sri Lanka could even win 1 match here, and if they don't let New Zealand win a single match in New Zealand, then Sri Lanka can qualify. But that's not happening. I really like these predictions. Like, maybe South Africa could be versus England. I feel like I kind of overrated South Africa here in this series especially, and underrated England here in this series especially, because England could easily beat South Africa. It's definitely possible. England could definitely go 2-1, but that's not happening. In my opinion, I don't think that's happening. I don't think England's stable enough for that to be happening in November of 2026. Pakistan versus Sri Lanka. I think I might have overrated Sri Lanka a bit in this entire video. It could be 2-0 completely, and then Pakistan would qualify, right? It could be a draw, and Pakistan would qualify as well, right? Because Pakistan are playing, like, what? Like, basically 8 of the 13... Yeah, I would say basically 8 of their 13 matches are at home. They're playing 3 in England, 2 in West Indies, 2 in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is basically home conditions. So... And they definitely want to take revenge. I think Bangladesh 2-0. Pakistan. What did I put for Pakistan against Bangladesh? I put 2-0 Pakistan, yeah. I think even then that's fair. I think these are the most fair rankings I could come up with. West Indies maybe could go 2-0 here, but that won't change much. Sri Lanka, if they go 2-0 here, then they qualify. I feel like these are the most fair I could get. If Pakistan win any more matches, then they qualify, right? Like, it's mere margins. It's tiny margins, right? Pakistan barely beat out India. Barely beat out Pakistan, right? It's tiny margins that matter. Like, you see how close this is? This is the difference of 3%, 1%, 2%, 1%, 6%. Australia have completely dominated. What? Are they playing, like, only minnows or something? Am I, like... Or are they playing only at home? Oh, this series really decides everything, doesn't it? Like, because this is... New Zealand is never good in Australia. This is fair. It is happening in Australia. They're mainly playing at home, aren't they? This is fair. This is fair. This is fair. This is fair. Yeah. Australia is mainly playing at home, and when they are playing at home, it's Australia versus Bangladesh. Yeah, that's completely fair. So they're mainly playing at home, and that's what's giving them the edge over teams like New Zealand and England. And then when they lose to India when they lose to India away, then it doesn't matter. And they really just like absolutely destroyed West Indies, I guess. So see, if I feel like if Australia was playing in England, if the Ashes were in England, then Australia would have like a harder time qualifying. I think 2-2 would be let's say the Ashes go 2-2. Let's say the Ashes go 2-2. Like, if they go 2-2, then England qualifies, right? But they still make it, right? Whew, that's crazy. Australia. So that means this win against the West Indies really did everything for them. Yeah. So I feel like it's going to be Australia-India. Where's the Ashes? Yeah, this is going to be Australia-India. This is going to be Australia-India pretty easily. You know, you never know. Pakistan might go back to flat pitches and lose every single game at this point. So you don't know. This is just a prediction. I'm probably going to revisit this in January. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in January. No, I'm not going to see you in January. I'm going to see you whenever I get my next video out. Okay, bye.